I'm trying to imagine a world with no religion, and so I'm starting with what I know about religion, what I've personally experienced. And my family, if they were religious, I wasn't aware of it, though I knew that they knew about church and things like that, because they'd take me there, like on Easter or something. And they seemed to know what was going on, and they didn't explain anything to me, and they couldn't or wouldn't answer my questions. So I started seeking out my own experiences with religion, and Christianity, well, at least the Bible study groups that I joined, I wasn't sure what was going on there. And then I went and met some Mormons, and suddenly I knew just what was going on. It seemed great. They were so supportive of each other and community-oriented. And it seemed like the whole idea of like their religion was almost like we're all agreeing to a kind of behavior. And by saying I am this, what that means is you have these ideals, or you'd like to have them, or you admire these ideals. And so when I remember I was going at a kind of a study group, and there was a list of this is for boys. It's like a boys class, or young man's class. And there was a list of date ideas for like no money, $5, $10. And there'd be tons of things like that. It's like, we don't want you to be bored. We want you to, we want to help you with tools for creativity. So here's some bases. Take that and run with it. So one of the ideas was make a lunch at home and take your girl out for dinner out, and have a picnic in the back of a pickup truck, either high in a parking garage, or you could back it up to a parking lot near a river or something like that and look out over the river. But it was a way to go out on the town for cheap. And the guy said to all these kids, all these young men, if your family doesn't own a pickup truck, I own one, let me know, and you could borrow it. And I'm like, this guy just offered his truck to a room full of young men. Unheard of. One of my friends there, he worked pressure washing trucks, and I'm like, was it hard to get this job? And he's like, no, one of the people in my church owns this, and he asked me if I wouldn't like to make money on the weekends washing the trucks. And I'm like, you didn't even apply for a job? Someone came and gave you a job? And the guy's like, yeah, that's how it works. And I'm like, that's how religion works? That's awesome. And so in my mind, that's what it's like. Oh, here's another thing. A family came to town, and they didn't have work. Things were a little tough on them. They had some medical issues. They had some troubles, and this guy got up and introduced his family in front of the whole church, and pretty much told them a lot of his own business, which I was taken aback. But what I realized, what was happening there, is the church was going to find this guy a place to live, and help him find work, help his wife find work, and give his kids a place to be, and have them, automatic set of friends. When I went there and I was introduced, everyone, next time I saw everyone knew my name. And it was suddenly like I had an automatic community, an automatic family. It was, I was deeply moved by it all. And so I imagine a world without religion, and I imagine, I'll tell you one other thing that I really liked. I went out for a thing like the guys, the Mormons, the guys did things, the girls did things. There was very little guy and girl things to do together. And I went out on one guy-girl thing, and we went to an event, and someone bought a hat, and I said, oh my God, that hat rules. I'm gonna go get one. And one of the organizers said, oh, they closed. This is the end. You can't get that hat. And the girl immediately took her hat off and plopped it on my head and said, that's your hat. And I tried to give it back, and it was almost like everyone in the bus knew she was going to do that. I was the only one surprised. And I was deeply moved by that gesture. Selflessness. Generosity. So I'm a world without that. There'd still be people offering each other's hats, but I think it would have surprised the entire bus that that girl would have done that, rather than the entire bus know that, of course, man, if I see the disappointment in your face, and I could turn it into a smile by giving you a $6 hat I just bought at a fair, I'm fully gonna give you that hat and see that smile. A world without religion, I imagine that family showing up at my city with no job, troubles, medical problems, and having a terrible time finding work, finding a place to live. They don't know anybody, they feel isolated, their kids might have trouble settling in. They're certainly not going to have an instant community and an instant support system of all these kids saying, we're meeting this Saturday to do skeet and trap shooting. I've borrowed my dad's extra shotgun so you could have one in case your family doesn't have one yet. You know, like, I know things might be hard for you, but we'll help. So I imagine a world without religion, and I imagine a world without people offering things like that, because there wouldn't be an agreed set of things about humanity that we admire. Like, let's all agree that we admire these things in humanity. Now let's all try to be it. Now let's try to all show it to each other. And it's not an exclusive club either. It's like anybody that wants to say, hey, I want to be, you know, a part of your group. And they're like, well, yeah, let's get you in the classes in the schools, and let's get you in the meetings, and let's get you in the activities, and welcome. So, yeah, I imagine a world without religion is a world without that kind of thing.